welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors, live from Mississippi. We got a fire rolling. Roscoe's over there keeping an eye on everything. He said he is going to stay warm by the fire while I did a little bit of cooking. Michelle laid out some deer meat in there and forgot about it. And then she went to cooking something else, and I don't know what it was. It was all put in one pot and stuck in the oven. I said, you know what? I'll handle that deer meat. So over here, I done prepared it, done what everything I was gonna do on that cutting board right over there. So let me get my deer meat. My little bitty cutting board right here. I'm gonna lay it all on it. I'm gonna cut my, no I ain't, I'm gonna leave it just like that. I just got some thick cut deer steak. That is out of the hind quarter. I got olive oil on this thing right here. So let me turn y'all down. And I cut up me some jalapenos and put on there. So that thing ought to be good and hot. I've been putting olive oil on there. I really had to kind of re-season it a little bit. I hadn't been cooking on it as much as I need to, and the humidity out here, this thing, there's a bunch of folks telling me that that the lard will cause it to seasoning to come off if you cook with a lot of lard. Well, I don't hardly cook with nothing but lard. So we are out here. It is nice and brisk, about 40 degrees, which ain't too bad. Wind is a little chilly. I am going to eventually put me a wall up from about right here down to that post, and I'm probably going to do that on both sides. I originally wanted to wall up all of that back there, but my grill is creating a difficulty there, and then Brody's hammock over there. I like the hammock too, but I'm gonna get me a swing and put back out here. So I don't know. I was gonna do all that, like for this time of year, it would block some of that wind. I don't mind the cold, but that cold wind blowing and the smoke, that thing ain't drafting tonight at all. The other night it drafted good, but that wind's blowing it's coming out of the northwest. Well, it's cutting right across here, and it's blowing that smoke all up it. I mean bad. So I'm gonna have to rearrange my chair and all over there. I thought I had that oil. I think this bottle that I'm cooking with is on his last leg. Not to worry, I got a brand new one sitting over yonder under it. I done found out it's just as easy to go to Walmart and pull up there and put your card in that little old thing, and the door will open up and you stick an empty one in there and you get another. It's $20, but if you take them down there to one of them places that fills it up, same price. And I can swap them out a lot faster. My big bottle low over there, I take it down there to Cook's where I buy some feed, and they fill that tall one up. I ain't filled it up since I got it. I put that there back in the summer, and it was about 3/4 of the way full, and I hadn't emptied it. So I figure it ought to be at least $100 to fill it up, I feel like. know what I mean? Burn. Gonna take a lot more of that olive oil than I expected. That stuff's evaporating mighty fast. But I don't want this cooked bad. I like it. I like it charred on the outside and might near raw in the middle. I know you don't like yours that way. That's how I do like mine. And I'm gonna cook it the way I like it. Michelle cooked Brody some fried chicken legs, and I was in there, my mouth was watering, smelling that fried chicken. I said, what else you cook? She was getting chicken. She said, I just cooked Brody some chicken legs. Yours in the oven. I said, what? I don't know what it was. No. No, it ain't what I'm eating tonight. Look at Roscoe. You said that firewood don't get lonely. Him and that fire got a relationship going right now. Y'all, this is fastly becoming one of my favorite ways to eat deer meat. I know I like fried backstrap. I love it. I grew up on it. I like deer stew. I mean, I like it a lot of different ways, but I'm telling you, this is becoming one of my favorite ways to eat it right now. Just get it on that hot plate and go, and then flip it over, and there you through. Sure went down there and got me some of them onions out of the garden down there. I was looking at them today while I was working on that teepee. I didn't go deer hunting today because I said, you know what, Self, we got to get down there and get that teepee finished and get it put up. So I said, Self, let's go down there and peel that other log. So we went down there, me and Self did, and peeled that log. We got that done pretty quick, and I said, well, Self, let's go up there and finish him and the door on that teepee. So me and Self come up here and done that. And when we got through, it was about 2 o'clock, and I said, Self, I believe we can put it up today. I said, I was wanting to go to the deer camp and go deer hunting, but I said, I really need to get this teepee done. So me and Self stayed here and put this teepee up. Just me and Self did it. Yeah. And you know he argued with me the whole time. All right, that's about my here enough. All right, we can cut that off. Cut that bottle off, that thing will vapor lock. I believe I have me some orange juice. Well, We're going to have to rearrange because that smoke is blowing right here. Put that right there. I know what I'll do. Like old Ma sell that better. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we got a little different angle on everything tonight. I like this. I like this setup better than me over yonder, I think. Yeah, I do. And I tell you why. I got another table right there if I can reach. Let's see if we can get some comments pulled up right here on this thing here. I'm blowed up, look like a Michelin man tonight. Y'all don't laugh at me. It's 40 degrees and I'm bundled up, but now we used to 100 and plus degrees with a humidity at 100%. But I like this. Make no mistake about it. Well, I don't reckon this thing's gonna function properly. May not have no service tonight. Signal may be froze up. Hey! Mike Reed! I saw Mike was a foraging a while ago in his black. I told him on there it was a good night to be a foraging on there. Running a forge. Uncle Sasquatch, if it fits. Jimmy Sullivan, Martin Meltzer. Oh, Lord, I'm going to get in trouble if I go to calling out all these names. Y'all, I am good. I am good. Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Mike Reed. I sent a few of my heroes Christmas cards. Some of the folks that has been good to me over the years and supported me and helped me and inspired me. Before I get off into this meat right here, I need to put another log on that there fire. Ah, that ought to burn for a few minutes. Let's see what we can do to this right here. Oh, time out. Thank you, Lord, for the woods in the creek. Thank you, Lord, for the food we eat. Thank you, Lord, for the fish that swim. Thank you, Lord, for all of them. Thank you, Lord, for the plants that grow. Thank you, Lord, for the white-tailed doe. Thank you, Lord, for the birds that sing. Thank you, Lord, for everything. Amen. All right, y'all. We fixing to dig right off over in here. Woo. There ain't nothing better than some good deer meat now. I'm gonna tell you. Did I overcook it? No, I think I got it just right. Mm-hmm. Give me some of that jalapeno. Well, y'all, I went yesterday. I hunted pretty much all day. And we didn't even see a deer. I mean, all day long. That stand that me and Brody hunted in late yesterday evening, I had been seeing deer every time I went there. There was a doe and a couple of little ones that I've been seeing regularly. I don't know what happened. And Brody, y'all, he done good. In that tide we blind, he can get down on the floor and play with sticks, and it's big enough he can crawl around and monkey. And he done pretty good about it being quiet. So that first day we went and got in that shooting house, he bumped around and throwed stuff on the floor and shook the shooting house. And I knew we wouldn't gonna see nothing that day. But I don't know, they just wasn't moving. So I don't know if I made Racket run them off, walked around or something. Me and Brody did drive the buggy up pretty close there. You didn't stay out down there chasing boogers long. He's ready, ain't he? Well, he backed up. I thought I was going to get where you could see him, but... I'm going to tell y'all, this jacket bulged out in my way of eating here now. I don't like nothing to get twixt me in my groceries now. It starts hindering the eating, it's a problem. It can hinder my work and it don't bother me much. What we are missing? Stacy Price said her 8-year-old granddaughter got an 8-point yesterday. Congratulations. If you'll get a picture of it to my Facebook page, Spirit of the Outdoors, I like to put them kids' pictures on there. You can message it to me or whatever. If you're on Facebook, I know a lot of y'all don't do Facebook. I get that too. I don't blame you. If you ain't got it, don't get it on my account. Richard T said he got his knife. I tried to get the ones that I had really promised before Christmas, and I got them shipped. Wednesday I shipped the last one. And then I've got 2 more that I am making for people local right here. And I got everything ready to build them today. I worked on the Teepee most of the day. But I did grind out 2 blades and got them patinaed and actually got the sheaths glued together. I can finish them fairly easy tomorrow. And I told him I'd have them done before Christmas. And then I got to build my brother-in-law one. He brought me a piece of Purple Heart that he had got from somewhere. So I'm going to build him his. But other than that, I ain't going to do no whole lot till after the first of the year. I'm going to make a few, but at my convenience. I may get bad broke for then, but that'll be all right too. I've been broke before. I've been broke and happy, and I've had money and been ill as a hornet. I guess you want a bite too. Now one for me. I don't know why this thing is smoking out so bad tonight. I don't know if that will, and I can tell y'all exactly why it's smoking like it does. It's not airtight. I've put smoke shelves, I've done all kind of tampering around with it. It's got a 10-inch hole or better in it, straight up. I mean, theoretically it should draft, but it's just not airtight, so it can't get a good, there's just so much air coming in around it, it don't. And I hadn't attempted to buy anything to seal it up because sometime next summer we're gonna put a stone or brick one or something there. I'm not gonna sink no money into that. I like the look of that tin, but it don't draft good. But it'll make it through fire season. But I mean, they just a cloud of smoke rolling going the other way. Jerome Smith, yeah, about like I've been in the videos the last 3 or 4 days. I had one old boy, he jumped back in there. He said, I'm here to argue. I said, you was, because he ain't here with us no more. And you know, after I done that, I felt better. You really can't block people on YouTube. All you can do is turn their commenting off where they can't say nothing. I can still watch your videos, but you don't see their comment. So if you want to get rid of them, you just got to make them mad enough they don't come back and watch nothing no more. But really and truly, if you make them mad and get them arguing with you in the comments, it helps your videos because the more comments that show up in that video, the more people it shows it to. So really getting folks stirred up and making them do a bunch of commenting helps your videos. But sometimes I just ain't in the mood for it. Stacy Price said Roscoe was looking at me like a politician looks at a man's wallet. You got that right. Raymond Rogers said he got him a doe. Wasn't gonna shoot it, but then did. I'm gonna tell you what I'm fixing to do. My gun's got a couple of different modes on it, and right now it's in buck mode. But I'm fixing it. It's got a switch on the side, and you can switch it over to supper mode, and that's where I'm gonna put mine. Raymond, that's where you had yours set. Yours was on supper mode. Kip Bayer said the world would be a lot less interesting without some idiots to make fun of. Yeah. Oh. And I had them torqued up this week because they had me by the, what made me so mad, ain't a negative comment. I can handle negative comments, but on that video where I'm trying to promote a product for a company, somebody gonna get on there that's supposedly a friend of mine, I thought, and tell everybody not to buy it because it ain't American made. We don't need to be buying that. I don't go to his place of work and tell his customers not to use him because of some reason that I don't like. He would come unhinged if I called some of his people that he worked doing work for and told them, oh, don't use him. He ain't no good. And that's about what he done. That's what made me so mad. And if it had been some random person, I wouldn't have thought nothing about it. But this fella, I thought he was a friend of mine. Not now. Roscoe, we're going to fool around and eat this whole plate of deer meat. When you put deer meat away like me and Roscoe do, you got to kill several. Oh, and Moody, I said supper mode, like eating supper. Yeah, rival got a supper mode. Toby, I am liking the Honda. Owen Moody said anymore, if you don't buy stuff made somewhere else, you'll be walking around naked. You got that right. And I'm going to tell you this. A lot of that stuff has got American made stamped on it, is manufactured overseas and brought here and stamped made in USA. And I know that for a fact. But what was I finna say now? Oh no, Jerome Smith, I got me a Honda. And I kept the Polaris. I've still got the Polaris too. They wasn't gonna give me nothing for it. I couldn't see the reason of giving it away. I'm gonna get time this summer to work on it. But I didn't want to stop and have, with everything I got going on, and tear that rascal apart and go to working on it right now in the middle of deer season. All that stuff that I replaced in the spring this year because of the last deer season that I missed. Y'all know I didn't hunt much last year because of it. Well, them joints in the front's flopping again. The yoke is flopping on the shaft. The axles are flopping in the differential. You can't keep it together. Somebody said, oh, you got to buy better parts. Well, the ones that came in it didn't last. So, I mean, you know, even bad parts should last a year. So, I don't know. But some of it is not normal wear. It needs some brakes and needs a rear bushings in it. But I went on and got me a Honda Pioneer. I grew up on Hondas. I like Hondas. And I'm going to fix my Honda Rubicon. I've been working on it, but I can't, there's something internal wrong with it. I've adjusted the valves, but it's like hard to turn over. I don't know. But I wanted something I wouldn't have to work on every time I got ready to use it. So that's what I went and bought. Now, Roscoe, you can wash your plate. He'll clean that plate up real good. I know there's somebody cringing saying, oh, and you going to eat out of that? I am. I'd about to eat out of it as soon as he got through cleaning it. No, I'll go put it in the dish, in the sink, wash it. I come there eating after him and some folks I know. All right. Mary said you were going to say good evening, Miss Mary. Miss Mary, I've been in there while I was waiting on all this to take place, snuggled up under that blanket. And Roscoe, he likes that blanket you sent about much as I do. But it is a nice warm blanket, and we spent about half the night. Matter of fact, I woke up sometime after midnight, still under it, and had to go get into bed. I said, Lord help, I done went to sleep. I done found some Return of Sherlock Holmes on the Roku and turned it on, and I don't know what happened because I went sound asleep, you know. But if somebody would have cut it off, I'd have woke up and said, hey, I was watching that. Alaska. Will Parker is in Alaska. Boy, we are reaching out there now, ain't we? Joe Worrell, that ain't poor man steak. He said good old deer meat, poor man steak. No, sir, that is rich man steak. You ain't got no idea what I spent on that deer. If I started tallying up what I had in that piece of deer meat, it'd probably hurt all our feelings, so I ain't gonna do it. I don't want folks to think I'm a bragging, you know what I mean? Y'all do like me. I see y'all retracting them comments. Y'all do like me. I do my best editing right after I hit send, and I go whoop 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 whoop. I have to punch on it and edit the comment and resend it. And it's cause these old fat thumbs and they about numb. Yeah, Roscoe got it slicked up. Look at him. Hey, he does as good a job as my wife. But now, hey, just so you know, I'll rewash it with soap, okay? But if I don't, you won't never know it. Dave said I tallied up what it cost me to catch a limit of speckled trout. Some seriously pricey fillets. Yeah. Hey, meat when you hunting can get expensive, but now let me tell you this. You can't put a price on that peace of mind that comes with it, you know? That time that I've spent yesterday sitting in that blind in the shooting house, and the evening before, really helped me a lot. Just lay everything down. One of the things, getting finished with the couple of knives that I was rushing to get done before the deadline, getting done with them helped a lot. And I'm not doing any more deadline type stuff because as far as me not having enough money or getting broke, that don't even concern me. The Lord will take care of me. It don't require a lot of money for me to live. Now I done added another payment that I got to pay every month, but I should be able to comfortably make that without any struggling. I mean, we don't have any bills, and I've got one little old bill that's like $100 a month that I'm fixing to finish off, so it's fixing to be gone, so it really ain't gonna hurt me no whole lot. I mean, them buggies is expensive, but y'all, just talking about the buggy, I use one. If I had to choose between a pickup truck and the buggy's more important to me for what I do. And only because of this management area back here that I do a lot of fishing and stuff on. You see me and Mike Reeves pull that boat down there and put it in. This spring, that is where I'm going to do all my trot lining and limb hooking down there. We're going to put the War Eagle in and we're going to fish out of it. And that I put a winch on the front of the on the front of the Honda. And the reason is when you back that boat down in there, sometimes I want to go up there and put it where there ain't really a concrete boat ramp. And I need to winch it out. And the other day, the water was bad swift, and when I was trying to load it, it got washed around. I washed down into the rocks. Man, broke a big chunk out of my prop, but I done found one for like $40-something. I'm not going to order it right now. I'm going to wait till after Christmas and order it. But it I just use a buggy too much. If it wasn't for that management area, I would have bought an old used Jeep. Good 4-cylinder, 4-cylinder, 5-speed Jeep would do everything I need to do, and I could have probably bought a good one for about $8,000 to $10,000 used, and been in good shape. And now I have got a Japanese mini truck, and I need to get it running. I could go back and forth to the deer camp in it a lot, and save a lot of fuel, but I've got to get time to tinker on it and make it run. So all right, Huckleberry has asked about the teepee. Oh, I knew I wanted to get to the teepee. I finished it today. I have got to sit down and look for all the footage of the material building, the sewing, the finishing up, getting the poles peeled. There's a lot of footage, and it's scattered all out through the computer. I got pictures in between it, and it'll take me a minute to hunt all of that. I'm going to try to get it edited tonight when I get off the live, so we're probably going to shut all of this down about 9 o'clock to give me time to go in there and dig through all that footage and see if I can put it together. And then I'm going to do a separate video on the erecting of the teepee. Now, it didn't take me a long time to erect it, but now the video was probably an hour long. I'm going to delete a lot of that footage out because I had some issues when I started putting it up. There was a weak point in the top where I tied it up there and it ripped a little bit. So I had to go down there and get up on that ladder and sew it back together. So really that was the reason I had the ladder in it down there in those reels. I had to sew about an 8-inch section back up. So I went ahead and reinforced and sewed it on the other side, and it's where that pulls around, and I had that tab tied. So I went, after I got through what I was doing, no film, and I went and pulled the stakes down all the way around it. So the next thing I have got to do is I've got to get some fabric of some description, probably the same material, probably go buy me another painter's drop cloth, and I've got to make a liner to go all the way around the inside. It's got to be like 3 foot tall, 4 foot, and hang down to the ground. I've got one spot on the back side that it's probably about this high. I've tried pulling on it. I may add some more ties to get it lower, but it is functional. I did build a fire in it late this evening and watched it smoke. It drafts really well. I was using some pine shavings from where I peeled the poles, so it smoked up in there some, but the smoke is up like this high. If you sit down, ain't no smoke. So going in there and sitting down on the ground, I have got a cot down here I'm going to put in there. We're going to do some decorating in it. We're going to hang some stuff up in there. And then we're going to get down there and film videos in front of it. And the teepee is just right down the hill right here. I was going to put it right out here to the side, but I wanted a good woods backdrop. And you could see the tractor. And if I got it at an angle, you could see the shop. You could see the house. So I moved it back down there. So just for filming purposes, it looks a little more rustic, and I'm going to leave it there till probably throughout the winter. I want to let those poles, as they're up, all of them dry out really good, and I'm going to go down there, and we're going to seal it one day. Probably next week. I need to hurry up and get it sealed before it rains on it, so we're going to take a spray rig, and we're going to mix paint thinner and silicone, tubes of silicone. And I've got one of those, them pork chop was telling me what you call it, some kind of gun But it's a siphon feed air blower is all it is. And they used them offshore down there blowing and spraying all kind of stuff. And my dad brought it home, a gunk gun, I think is what they call it. But anyway, I'm going to use that and spray that silicone mixture all on there pretty good, just on the outside. I did a bed sheet that way for camping, and I dipped it, and it worked really good. It's held up. I put it up and left it outside. I did a video on it a year later, and I had not slept in it, and you camped in it a whole lot, and I said that. And people's like, oh, so you think, it's holding up, it's just been rolled up in the shell. And I didn't even argue with it. Okay, well, just let them be an idiot. But I had put it up and just left it up down there for a while and let it rain on it 2 or 3 times and sunshine on it. And that was kind of my way of testing it, and it held up really good. So that's what I'm going to do with the Teepee. The boiled linseed oil and turpentine works really good, but it makes a fabric really heavy. It also weakens the fibers in it. I noticed that the bed sheet that I did is really heavy. It is 100% waterproof. Waterproof's excellent. But every time I would try to prop a stick or something against the inside, even with something over it, it would rip and tear. So it weakened those fibers a lot. So that's another reason I don't want to put it on that Teepee. I don't want it to get real heavy and sag. And I'll probably build another Teepee at some time later date out of some better material and possibly do a better job of building it. Maybe I'll have a better sewing machine by then to build it. But I've learned a lot, and that's why I didn't just put a lot of time into this one, which I had a lot going on this year, and it's really took me way too long to build it. But I'm going to tell y'all, that is another thing that is a load off of my mind. That Teepee is up. I can go enjoy it now. Yeah, we got a little more to do to it, but I'm going to get down there. Hopefully, we're going to do some hide tanning around the Teepee. Maybe can do some bow making. I've got a couple of bows I wanted to finish. I wanted to make some arrows, and I purposely did not film a lot of that stuff because I wanted to wait till I got the Teepee done and set up and film it in front of the Teepee. So I'll build me another little fire pit out in front of it. I got a fire in it. Possibly we're going to do some cooking videos down there. I may blacksmith me out a cook range. I've got a tripod here, and I may take it down there. And we're gonna have some fun with it. It's going to be a little cold, but now, hey, next week it's going to warm up. I think we're going to have summer for Christmas, it looks like. So there's a lot of good stuff that I'm planning on filming, and we're going to do some series. Now that I have got the Christmas orders stuff done, I got time to relax and do what I want to do. I want to go back and do a series on fire building. And I have not done any kind of bushcraft and camping and wood stuff in a while. And I want to get back to that. I just haven't had the time to do it. I'm trying to get swapping gears in business stuff kind of set me back and adding on to the knife shop and all of that. So, but I want to do a series on all the different fires that you can make. And there's a lot of different styles of fires and how they burn and how they work. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's something I had not done a lot of. And try to do some primitive fire building. And some of it's tough to do. And I may not be as good at it as a lot of people. I'll try. I will say this. I can make hand drill fire, bow drill fire, flint and steel fire, but there's times that I have really struggled with it. There's been times that I was going to film a video like that and really struggled to get it going. But now there's times I get right here and struggle to build a fire. So, The next thing is, old Mike Reeves showed me a tip on that dip bait, and them catfish liked it. And we're going to do some more of that. Hopefully he'll come back down here when I got a full day to just really set up and there's fish like that when the water and all's right, and try some of them other holes. Y'all know I love the griddle fish, but I like the catfish. I love catfish. And I will try to see what we can catch out of some of them holes. I don't really favor the treble hooks that much. So I would like to find me a single hook set up that the dip bait will stick to really good. So if y'all got some tips and suggestions on that, send me some information. I want a way to get my circle hooks to get that dip bait to stay on them. Because that's what I like to, that way if I hang a good fish and say, hey, I want to turn him loose, well, with that treble hook swallowed down in him, he ain't no, you gonna pull his guts out. I done seen that. But, and and most of them I'm gonna keep and eat anyway, so it ain't really a big deal. Thompson's water seal ain't a bad idea, but I'm gonna roll with the silicone and because it's a lot lighter on that fabric. The paint thinner and the silicone is the lightest by far. That Thompson water seal is a lot like that boiled linseed oil. It's gonna make that canvas really heavy, and I don't want to do that for up and down with it. Suzanne's she said my humor was in good. It's because I have had some downtime, some time to myself doing and I have accomplished some things. The teepee's done. That's like a load off my mind. I am like, oh, I feel so good now knowing that's done. The knives done. All of that takes a load off my mind, and it changes my attitude drastically. But I thrive on the sense of accomplishment, and like finishing that teepee is like I got it done. So it boosts my mood, and that's one of the times I'm self motivated and driven like that. So, well, Rebecca, we're gonna try to remedy that. Probably when I start a fire series, we're gonna start with just a basic fire. Just, hey, we're gonna lighter. No trying to be fancy. I mean, just what it takes to build a fire, just to start with. And I think I'd done that video one time, but it's been a long time ago. And I did it because there was some college kids, and I ain't gonna call no names, but I sort of knew them, and they were like, I can't believe you got that fire going so quick. And I looked at them and was like, this is kind of what I do. But they was like, we tried to build a fire all night the other night. We never did get it built. Well, come to find out, they had drink boxes, well, they was beer boxes, and they burned them and then put firewood there on it, and it never would catch up, and they didn't understand. So, and I take it for granted that I know all this stuff, but y'all, there's a lot of college kids and other people that don't get out here and do what I do on a regular basis, and they don't know. And it ain't their fault. I mean, everybody don't love the outdoors as much as I do. And they don't love it because they're not successful at it. They go out there and try to build a fire and can't. And instead of me laughing at them and making fun of them, I want to try to say, hey, here's how you do it. And that's what I want to do. But it's a lot of people misconstrue with like you trying to show, well, you think you know how to do everything. Well, no, it's not really it. I struggle at times with a lot of stuff, but it's about helping somebody that does struggle it because they don't do it as much as I do. And these other people are probably in these threads that's better at it than I am. So, it's not like saying, well, I'm the best there is, That ain't the case. Which I don't think there is anybody that is top notch at anything. I think you get to looking around, you'll find somebody better at what you're doing but anyway. Stephen L. said pantyhose. Now, I did hear about the pantyhose. I didn't know if it would work with the dip bait. And what I heard was with chicken liver, you take a pair of pantyhose and you cut that liver up and you drop a piece in there and you tie a knot. And then you space up just a little bit, you tie another knot so you can cut it between the knots. And then you drop another piece of liver in there and tie another knot. You can cut it off. And that way, like you'll put a piece of liver, then 2 knots, piece of liver, 2 knots, piece of liver, 2 knots, and then where you got 2 knots, you can just snip it between them. That way you got it individually. And I figured the dip bait would work the same way. So I may need to go see if my wife's got an old pair of pantyhose with a run in them. Y'all know about the run in the pantyhose? I remember my sister and my mama and I guess Michelle too fussing about runs in the pantyhose. Now, you know, a lot of women don't wear them old pantyhose no more like they used to. Used to, everybody wore them. Or maybe I just don't pay it as much attention anymore. I don't know. Probably when I was a teenager, I paid it a lot closer attention than I do now. Zippo lighter fires the best. No, it ain't Owen Moody. I got you beat. I got you beat, and I'm going to tell you. I may show this secret at some point. But these mornings that I go down there and I'm really in a hurry to get started working in that shop, and I'll bust up a big old piece of wood into some smaller pieces and stick them in that pot-bellied stove, and I'll take that butane bottle with that wand and I'll just stick it over in there and turn it on and walk off and going back. I can come back by there in about 10 minutes and I got a good fire going and I ain't putting no work in it. Now, it can be expensive in the long term, but hey, a $20 tank of gas is cheap for the headache it'd save me. But other than that, I agree, Zippo makes a good fire. Now, I ain't taking away from the Zippo. Make some rubber grub fin to hold the dip bait. Larry, I did see some of them hooks that's got the spiral out around it, and I don't know if it would stay in there or not. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. We'll try some stuff. Larry Mayers, thank you. I am happy about that Teepee, y'all. I really, really am. I really am happy about the Teepee being up. That Teepee has been looming over my head for what? Y'all, we started that way back in the summer. I mean, it's been over 6 months, and that thing's been piled up on this table right here. I can even see my table. If I want to have, well, one thing, we have a Christmas Eve get-together here, and I don't think there's a lot of folks coming this year because a lot of the family ain't coming in. Some of them's going to be late coming in. Michelle's sister and them's going to be after Christmas when they get to come. My sister's going to get to show up Christmas Day, and then she's got to go back. So there really ain't going to be a lot of us here this year, but it's a no presents, I cook. I like to cook, so I just cook something, and we gather up and eat and just enjoy. I like to shoot firecrackers on Christmas Eve, and I may film some of that this year. If I got a little extra money and buy some good firecrackers, I love to shoot firecrackers. That's the kid in me, and it's one of my favorite things about Christmas Eve, and it's because on Christmas Eve, we always went to my grandpa Alford's up here, my mama's daddy, and we didn't get a lot of presents every now and then because there was a lot of us grandkids, and they couldn't afford to buy all of us a big something fancy present. Sometimes they'd give us Mama would get us all a little small pack of firecrackers or something, you know. And they'd buy the little kids, you know, if somebody had a great grandkid or whatever, they'd buy the little kids something. But once we got 10, 12 years old, we didn't get no more. We didn't get stuff, or really, we got about 7 or 8. We didn't get no more stuff. And the highlight of my Christmas Eve up there was we shot firecrackers every year. I mean, it was a big thing. And then we would have firecracker wars with the neighbors on down the street or on down the road. It wasn't a lot of houses here then. And they was probably 200 yards away, so it wasn't like we was shooting each other. But we'd try to see who could shoot the biggest one, or we'd shoot. They'd start shooting, and it was like a competition, and it was a lot of fun. And nobody ever really got hurt. We didn't act silly with it. We was kids just having fun. Now we had a few bottle rocket wars, but fortunate for us, nobody ever got injured. I think I burnt my hand one time. Had one go off in my hand, but that's what Christmas Eve for me is. I've had Christmas if I get to shoot firecrackers. And then New Year's Eve, I just soon go on to bed. That waiting to midnight to shoot firecrackers anymore. That's for the birds. I'll be snoring when all them go off. So anyway, that's cause I'm getting older. I ain't no teenager no more. And I used to stay up and party hard with the best of them, but that's no longer a part of my life. I could care less. Roscoe, you've been down there making a lot of racket. Is it? There ain't nobody trying to steal our teepee, is it? Randall Hayes, absolutely. All of my knives, he asked, could the back of my knife strike a ferro rod? Well, if I can get it out here, it's on a long. Absolutely wouldn't have one that won't. And I got my sharpener right under there too. So let me go get a stick of firewood for that fire. There we go. All right. Yeah, buddy. I done about let it burn slam out. We got to get it back rolling. Mike Reeves said he'd be headed back this way before long. Hey, Mike, you come on. We're going to put a hurting on them catfish. But I tell you what I want us to do. You done showed me a good bait. I'm going to get a couple of I may have to invest in me some. I'm using some old Abu Garcia reels, and I got one Daiwa, and there ain't none of them working really good. Now, I'm going to put a little heavier lead, but if I can't get them working right, I'm going to buy me a good cat. I got two, I think, but I want to open face. Anyway, we're going to get some good reels set up for catfishing. And Mike, I want you to meet me at Pickinsville. And we're going to take the camper and set it up. And we're going to fish the Tom Bigby River because there's some big catfish in there. And I know good and well we can get up there and put a hurting on them. I ain't never caught one up there with a hand pole. I want to do that. I hadn't done it. I can catch them on them jug lines, catch them on trot lines, but I've never got one of them good cats on a hand pole. I want to do it. I want to do it. Nancy Pierce, somebody else told me about a sponge. Chumming with minnows in a plastic bottle. I never heard of such, Dawn. But I like that idea. I like that idea. Larry said he's smoking deer hides tonight. Blue Possum said them pantyhose make good waders too. If you decide to try a pair on, make sure you post a video. I don't think I want to do that. I don't. That's funny though right there. I'll tell you that for sure. Owen Moody said if you salt your chicken liver with rock salt and leave it in the fridge for 3 or 4 days, it will eventually get tough enough to stay on your hook without using pantyhose. How many of y'all knew that? I did not. Did not know that. Good information to have. Thank you, Owen. Cooked shrimp, minced garlic, the Zip Blag, Blue Channel, love it. Stephen L. said, how are the poles for the outdoor kitchen holding up? I've been curious how burning them holds up with the moisture effect. As of right now, they are working well. We are a little over a year later. They are a couple of months past a year's time, and they doing good. I did leave them to where I could change them if I needed to. In other words, they're pegged at the top with a wooden peg so that I can saw it into with a chainsaw if I need be. So far, they're holding up. Watch Smoky Mountain Outpost. He does a lot of work with burning and using poles like that, and he's got some good information on it. So far, they're holding up well. They really are. Is there a boat ramp on 21 headed towards Philadelphia? Oh. I ain't seen no boat ramp on 21. Oh. I don't know where you're talking about, Mike. I'll tell you another place, though, that there is, and that's the Knoxville River up there. And I know a place to go there where there's a boat ramp on the Knoxville River when you got to catch your water right, though, there for it to be good. I don't know. But now I'll tell you this. If I'm going to hand pole fish, I'd just about as soon do it from the bank, I think. I hadn't done a lot of that kind of fishing, but I never have. My biggest problem is when I get time to go, I ain't never got no bait or ain't got time to look for no bait. I went and bought me some little cheap gloves the other day at Frank Tank's. I decided they was in my pocket and I was fumbling around with them. I'd put them on. But now the problem is I can't do nothing on that touch screen thing with them. I'd be like, what's his name? Old hillbilly, Idaho hillbilly. He'll have a pair of gloves on. He'll have the tips, all the fingers whacked out of him. But now, y'all want me to show y'all a trick? Now, don't tell nobody I told you this. When you're filming in cold weather and you're using an iPhone, you got to do a lot of touch screen stuff, you can use the tip of your nose like that to scroll up. Oh, you didn't cross the Pearl River on 21. Now, you crossed it over there on 15, and there is a good boat ramp on 15. Burnside Park is there, concrete boat ramp. Good place to fish. There's a lot of people fish there a lot. B-Heck, you Carly Lewis, Roscoe, Carly Lewis said tell you, hey, come here, let me scratch you on the head for her. Yeah. And Uncle Sasquatch, he likes to watch you too. Tell Uncle Sasquatch, hey. And tell Carly Lawrence, hey. Ha ha. Log Cabin Loons posted snow set in North Dakota. Yeah, I didn't watch all of his video. He was cutting them logs is the last thing I seen from him. And I want to know what happened to the canvas cover on the back of the M7. He's got that old Dodge truck, Army truck, and he used to put a canvas cover on the back of it, which was part of the inspiration on why I wanted to put a canvas on the back of mine. I just wanted to do a little better job of it. And for the last 3 or 4 years, he's not put that canvas top back on the back of his truck. I like to watch old Mr. Shoe up there at Log Cabin Loons. Now, I don't, and it ain't that I disagree with his politics. I just get sick of listening to it. So I don't watch a lot of his political stuff. He's rambling on about whatever. He's usually right on most things, but it ain't my cup of tea to sit and listen to. I like when he's out doing stuff, cutting firewood, and I like to see the snow, because we don't get snow in Mississippi. That's like Idaho hillbilly. I love to watch him cutting firewood and up and down in the mountains and and the snow out there, and he hates it. But you know, that's why I watch his channel. Is I like to see the snow on some of these, and I like somebody that's level head. You know, somebody that's out doing outdoor stuff. You know, showing it. A lot of them folks, they'll have a channel and they'll be showing the snow and all that, but they'll be so limp wristed and I don't know. I can't watch a man that you know, really stresses the S's in everything he says and flips his wrist around while he's talking. I don't usually watch his channel long. Martin, you'd probably be right. Him and Brody are the stars of the show. I'm just the producer. I'm the productions manager. Is what I am. I have been to Texas. I hadn't been. Well, I think Houston's as far into Texas I've been. My wife's sister lives in Orange, Texas. But I have been over into Beaumont and Houston a time or two. But other than that, Deaver, Clara, how are you, Clara? Oh, where are you from, Clara? From Texas, I see. Roscoe, Clara said tell you, hey, I think they like watching you better than they do me, old buddy. That's all right, though. Yeah. Oh, Roscoe's a famous dog. He's my buddy. I tell you what he likes. I done found out. Miss Mary has won his heart over because he likes that blanket she sent about as much as I do. Yeah. We about need that blanket out here tonight, don't we? But Deaver, you ain't missed no whole lot. We cooked some deer meat out here, and we've talked about the teepee we put up, and we've talked about the stuff. We got most of the knives that we promised. I still got a page and a half of knives to make, but I got the ones that I told people, yes, I'll do this before Christmas. I had some more that probably would have liked to have got them, but I mean, and I still got time to make some before Christmas, but there's no way I'm going to get them shipped. But now some stuff we have shipped has shot right through there and got where it was going on a timely manner. I mean, they doing really good. And y'all, please know this. When you hear me fussing and carrying on about the mail, most of the time I am more joking than I am like aggravated at it. I don't like FedEx. Somebody commented on one of the reels said, I wouldn't trust the U.S. government mail and yada, 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 yada. I'll put you with FedEx. No, sir. No, sirree, Bobby. When it comes to shipping stuff, FedEx is the worst there is here. Now, you may work for FedEx and be somewhere and be doing a fantabulous job. But right here, when we get up, in fact, it's so bad that I was ordering stuff from Walmart and I never could get what I ordered. I ordered fish baits twice, and I never did. I got free ones, and I had to pick them up because they couldn't. I paid for them, and they would never show up. I got a picture of them. It said delivered, and I didn't know where the picture didn't. I can't remember now what it showed. I think it just showed the package. Oh no! I know what it was. I got an empty package. The package showed up, and it was ripped, and it was just an envelope, and that was it. There was nothing in it. And then we got a neighborhood watch here on Facebook. So you can tune in to the neighborhood watch on Facebook, and it's a secret group, and it's because we invited just the people that live in this neighborhood. And you can request to join if you search for the group, and then you have to get approved. And anyway, that way we just keep it amongst us because we originally started it when we had a bunch of hoodlums living in the neighborhood and they bad to walk up and down the road all hours of the night. And we'd be like, hey y'all, so-and-so's out prowling around, you know, you better keep your head up, you know, watch. And we was related to some of these folks, so it wasn't like we hated them. You got to keep an eye on them. You know the type. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. And we just had to kind of keep up with them, what they was into. And we still loved them. We just had to watch them, you know. Well, now it's got to where all we do is have you seen my dog? We get a lot of that, which is okay. Help folks find a dog when it runs off. You'll figure out somebody's got one in the eat down the road. They all down there, go get your dog. But we got this game we play. And somebody will post a picture from FedEx and they'll say whose garage or whose door or whose patch of grass or does anybody recognize anything in this picture? Because FedEx has delivered my package, but this ain't my house. And this happens an awful lot, y'all. I mean, an awful lot. And we all sit there and guess at where we think this is, and a lot of times we'll figure it out. But, oh, that's so-and-so's house, I recognize the decorations on this. And I'm telling y'all, it's a game we play. And Walmart does all their shipping through FedEx, and I quit ordering anything from Walmart. I would order my coffee, I would order a lot of the staples that you just use, I'd order it from Walmart. But now you can call Walmart here, and Walmart themselves will deliver it out here in about an hour. Cost you $14, but it saves you $14 worth of headache for walking around in that store. But anyway, UPS has done really good here. Now, for a while, FedEx was doing good. We had this one lady that she was a black lady, and she done really good. I thought the world of her. I mean, I was about ready to buy her a Christmas present. I didn't have no trouble with anything. In fact, if it had the wrong address on it, she knew where Spirit of the Outdoors and Southern Mud Pottery was, and she would bring it here anyway. But she got transferred or whatever, and then now who we got, it's terrible. It's bad, terrible. So, I think it's a lot to do with the individuals that's working in that area, and that's probably what the experience that other people have with the U.S. mail. It depends on who's delivering. But now a lot of it is the chaos in these factories. I mean, you got to take into consideration all of us are ordering way more stuff than we're going to town and buying because it's just more practical. I mean, let's face the reality of it. So we're all ordering a lot more stuff. Well, it has to be shipped. I have started a business. I'm shipping a bunch of stuff. So you take the amount, and I go to the post office every day. So I crack jokes and carry on with the ladies up there at the post office. Half of them's watching all my videos now because they see me in and out every day, and they know I'm making knives and shipping them, but they do a really good job. And one of them told me, said they did 2,700 packages by lunch the other day. I said, my Lord, Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Oh, Lord. He gone. We ain't got to listen to him no more. That's just how easy that works. He can still watch. He just can't no longer participate. And it makes me happy. That's what I posted that video the other day. Draw them out so you can get rid of them. Oh, Lord. Yeah. He done run out of whatever he was smoking on tonight, and he's needing something to whine about. Oh, Lord, that's the kind of folks you deal with. And then you get somebody that they'll say, oh, support America. Well, we got too many people like that right there that you got to deal with in America. You can't just support everybody here. I wish we could. But we got a lot of idiots here. They just ain't got sense enough to know if they're coming or going. Any luck deer hunting? I have not had a whole lot of luck lately, now we got 2 deer first part of the season. I killed a doe and then I killed a little 7-point, and other than that, now I probably could have killed a couple of deer, but I after I got 2 deer, I said, okay, I'm gonna chill out and I'm gonna hunt through the rut. And I mean, if I kill a buck, okay. If I don't, oh well. I'm not really like trophy hunting, but while the buck's roaming, like it's just more enjoyable to sit there waiting on something a buck to come out. And then sometime a week or so into January, middle of January, if I hadn't, or about the second week of January, if I ain't killed a buck, we're gonna start. I'm gonna hammer. I need at least 2 or 3 more deer for the year to put the meat I need in the freezer. So anyway. Yeah, there's a video back somewhere of me building this, but now like I said, it ain't drafting tonight. And the whole reason this thing don't draft is because of that. It's not airtight. So when you put one together, if you'll find something silicone or whatever that's fire retardant, that don't just, because it don't really just get real hot except right against that very back there, because the flame is way back there against it. But them corners and stuff, I mean, like right here, you can put your hands on that. That ain't like so hot that you can seal that up with something that is somewhat fire retardant. And if you could make it airtight around all that stuff, it would draft a lot better. And I could probably put some time into this and improve it, but I hadn't. I'm gonna build a brick. I'm thinking about building a block one out of center blocks and fill them with concrete, and then putting fire brick on the inside of it, and then covering it with that stone board, that just looks like stones. It's like concrete board or something, and face it with that. I don't know. We're gonna see. Yeah, I ain't thought about that silver tape. That may work if it's somewhat fire retardant. Deaver, I should have let you have old boy. You could have hammered off into him. He probably got blisters on his hand and his chest, if you know what I mean. Oh Lord. Rural Prepper, we're going to have videos in the next couple of days on the Teepee. I'm hoping, if I can get in there here in a little bit and find all the footage, I hope I ain't accidentally deleted some footage. That's possible. But I got to find all the footage that I've got of assembling the Teepee, the sewing, the getting it all together, the marking. If I can get all of that footage together, I'm going to put that video out tomorrow. And then we'll do Just in Time. Will come out Sunday. I got to film it tomorrow. And then we will, I filmed putting it up today. So that video will come out Monday, most likely, depending on how things go. Leo, that's what I was thinking. The center blocks, and there's an old boy that's got a dry stack video on YouTube. I have watched it way back in the summer. And he dry stacked center blocks and built one, and then he put that plaster and stuff over it, and he made a Keebler, one of them made a Keebler pizza oven. It looked like the Keebler tree. So there's a lot you can do. Well, I'm on, Deaver, I tell y'all what that old boy Doug got on him was merciful about it. His Tommy Litchfield wasn't here yet. Tommy would have cleaned his plow for him. I kind of hate old Tommy missed it. We might have to, if I could figure out how to unhide him, we'd let him back on for Tommy to show up. Thor, I don't know about that. I tell you why. I have took buckets of ashes and went down both rows of my turnip greens and my collard greens and the mustard greens. And I don't know, it seemed like it might have helped a little, but they're still eating them up pretty. But the problem is it kept raining on it. Rain washed all the stuff off, you know. So I don't know what Durarock is, David. I'll have to look and see what Durarock is. It very well might work. I don't know. Get a pillow for Roscoe. Roscoe, I don't know where he's at right now, but I'll tell you why Roscoe don't need a pillow. Roscoe sleeps under the cover in the bed with us. That's where he's. I tell you what I do need for Roscoe, and I got to find something. When we in the boat, in the canoe, I need something, especially in the summer when that floor's hot. I need something for Roscoe to get on in there when we are fishing and stuff. And he likes to ride in that boat. And if it's bad hot, he needs to. Bathroom board, I got you. Yeah, I know where it's at. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It very well might. I don't know. I don't have any experience with it. Brenda Joe, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you. I have never laid tile, Deaver. I have done about everything else. There's two things in my life that I've not done to do with construction. And I put sheetrock up once or twice, like screwed it to the wall. But I have never like finished it and been like, hey, I can do sheetrock. I don't do a lot of sheetrock. And I've laid tile one time in my life. And that was when we was building the church. And I helped a man put some in the doorways of the Sunday school rooms while they were working on it, and he was just showing me what to do. I would never say, hey, I can lay tile. But now, I'm fixing sometime this summer, I'm going to do some work on my bathroom in the house, and I've got to build a shower, and I'm going to lay tile in all of it. So I'm going to get some experience with the tile here before long, but no, I don't want to do it for a living, for sure. Nancy, good to see you tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us. Fat Man Adventures, thank you. I'll pull that up in a minute, and when I get off of here, y'all know that the 5-seater Honda Pioneers have the flip-up seats in the back. Well, they have a cab that covers the whole thing. Well, I didn't want to pay that extra. I think it was another $1,500 or so. I can't remember, to get that model. Well, I had already spent enough that I was like, well, I don't need them seats back there. The number one thing is I haul a lot of dirt, pine straw, wood, and I didn't want all that junk going down in them little bitty cracks where them seats flip up. I mean, y'all can imagine what kind of nightmare that would be. Oh, and I don't have that many people that ride with me. If three of us can't sit on the seat, I don't, you know, they need to go in something else. So I didn't need all that. But I asked the guy, I was like, well, what about the roll bar that holds that cab on there? I said, can that be bought? Do y'all know how much them 3 pieces of pipe are from Honda? Them 3 pieces of pipe is over $1,500. Yes, sir, I said that right. They about $600 and something a joint, if I ain't mistaken. A good 5 a piece. I said, no. I said, I'd be better off to buy the one with the seats and get the pipe and the canopy and the whole 9 yards before I done that. It was crazy. Deaver, now you're a steering wheel holder. Well, Mike Culpepper Brody went in there and shucked his britches off right straight. He come out here, he wanted to go see the teepee when he come in. He'd been over at he'd been down at my mama's, I think. And we went and got teepee and we stoked the fire up in it. I let him, he wanted to add to the fire. I had a little old smolder, it was about out. We stoked it up and then we come back up and he went in there and he jerked his britches off. And yeah, it's a little chilly for him out here, so he ain't been back out. Mike Hudson from Ripley, Mississippi. Oldest flea, I've heard of Ripley's flea market for sure. Stephen L., do you have trouble with your Polaris with the front end? Mine, I mean, as far as the machine doing what I wanted to do, it did a wonderful job. I mean, it did pretty good for the most part. But I couldn't keep the front end together. The prop shaft, constantly changing joints in it. Now the axles is all flopping. It needs all of that mess rebuilt. It really needs the front differential rebuilt. It needs what the axles go into replaced, and the shaft that the yoke goes on for the prop shaft replaced. And you may have to replace the whole front differential. I don't know. But that was why I went on and bought a Honda. I didn't want to have to work on it all the time. And they say that the newer models are not that bad. Apparently they fixed whatever the problem was, but did we get reconnected? We got a hallucination. But anyway, I would buy a Kubota or a Honda for the simple fact that I have seen firsthand. My dad's got a Kubota. I know some other men around here that's got some Kubotas, and I know of several people that have Hondas, and I'm talking about well-used Honda Pioneers, and they ain't having no problems out of them. Everybody I know with a Polaris is having all kind of trouble out of them. So that's what I'm going on. It's not like, well, I like this and I don't like that. I like anything that'll work and do what it's supposed to do. I don't like having to work on something every time I get ready to use it. Kip, you caught that hallucination. That was probably one of the best sermons ever preached. Deaver, you got it made tonight. You waiting on her to load all them Christmas packages in the back of the truck? Yeah, Stephen, I hadn't mud on mine or nothing. Now, I've crossed some low water crossings. 90% of my use is on this hill right here. Right around here. Now, it splashed through some mud. I don't baby it. The problem is I used it every day. Every day it gets rode. So, I've still got it. I mean, I will, send that to me, Kip. I need to check out one. I don't think I've seen that in a long time. Stephen, I bought mine in 2016. They had just came out with Hondas. The Honda Pioneer 1000. I asked the mechanic, I was like, look, I know this is the first year these is out. You got any bugs that needs working out of them? They having any issues? He said, yeah. He said, we're having a lot of clutch problems. I was like, thank you. That's all I need to know. Polaris had been making the Ranger for years, years, years. I knew several people that had one. They didn't tell me they was having problems with them. They was trying to cover it up and been like, oh yeah. I found out later they was having trouble out of theirs too. They sold them. They don't have them no more. I kept mine and still got it. Um, so, that was the reason I didn't buy one then. And they was about $3,000 more, which, you finance that, your payments don't go up no great whole lot. You probably wouldn't never knowed it, but I grew up on Hondas. I had Honda 4-Traxes. I still got my Honda Rubicon. Now it has set up so long I can't get it running. I'm probably gonna carry it to somebody and let somebody that's got time and knows what they're doing work on it. With it running, it needs some bushings replaced. It needs the brakes fixed. It needs a wheel seal put in the back. Other than that, the thing is fine. And it was running good the last time I rode it. I just had trouble getting it. I thought the battery was dead. Come I find out it's hard to turn the engine over, and it could have sucked a rag up in there, and I don't know. I pulled the spark plug out, and there ain't nothing on top of the piston, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna fix the Polaris. I'm gonna fix the Honda Rubicon eventually. That way Brody can have one of them when he gets big enough to ride. He ain't tearing up my Honda. But when I get ready to go fishing and I get ready to go hunting and I want to go film a video, y'all lose in videos because the Polaris didn't want to make it to the swamp. And I literally didn't get to hunt much last year because of that. And when it started acting up this year, I was like, okay, I'm not fixing to spend another $1,000 fixing the same thing on here that I fixed last time. I'm not doing it. I'd rather go and cough it up. I wanted to buy a boat. That's what I wanted to buy. I had my heart set on a center console, 20-foot aluminum boat, wide boat with a canopy on it. I want to mount lights on it where we could run limb hooks, gator hunt, frog grab, frog gig, run trot lines at night, do bow fish, do everything that we want to do while Brody's growing up on the water. And I wanted a boat that would do everything. Crappie fish, whatever I wanted to do in big water. And I was going to keep the War Eagle and I was going to sail the Skeeter boat. Well, now I had to buy this, so that postpones me about 5 years. I went 5 years on this, so that's where we at right now. Yeah, Dave, we launched the War Eagle the other day down there with the Honda. The Honda done fine. Now it spun a little bit pulling it out, but now it's got plenty of power. I've had no trouble pulling anything with a Honda, and I didn't even have it in low gear. I had it in high gear. But now it didn't have that War Eagle's not that heavy. It's aluminum boat, and it's where I'm going to have trouble is when I'm not on the concrete boat ramp and I'm over there trying to put in off the side of the river somewhere that they in all that mud. I'm going to have a problem there, and that's why I wanted the winch. I can put that winch up there, that bank slick. It'll help me get all of that pulled out of the water. So, Fat Man Adventures, I will say this about this Honda. I got on it, I made the first couple of loops, and I was like, okay, all this rattling, something's got to, I can't handle this. So the bed was rattling, blah, 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 blah. So what I did, I got back there, got to looking. I knew there was some stuff because they have to assemble them things and they don't ride them around and try to tweak all of that. So, I mean, I kind of figured I was going to have to do that. So I was adjusting and I couldn't adjust it out of the bed. And I got to looking at them little rubber pads where they sat down on there. One of them had a little bit of gap. So I took a piece of leather and slid it up inside that rubber part where it went on that piece of metal, and it spaced it up just enough that it took care of the rattling of the bed. So the bed is now I got a passenger door I have adjusted on as good as I can adjust, and it's still got a little rattle. If I get on real rough ground, it blah blah blah. But it's not like a constant rattling that's driving me nuts anymore. So I think I'm gonna probably have to get me some kind of extra something to put in them rubber bushings they screw in there and they like a peg looking thing. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out something there. But anyway. Uncle Sasquatch, you missed out on old Doug. Old Doug got on. I don't know what got under his skin. He he come in the door sideways, stumbling around and talking trash to everybody. we had to go ahead and muzzle him right off the bat. I wish Tommy would have been here. I'd have let Tommy have him for a little while. Tommy would have chewed him up and spit him out. Uncle Sasquatch, looks like I drawed them out of the woodworks here this week. Owen Moody said solve the rattling problems with earmuffs. I'd fix it, wouldn't it? That's probably the cheapest way too. Oh Lord. Hey, that reminds me one time back several years ago. My daddy, he was walking, I said, Daddy couldn't hear. And I said, Daddy, you need to get you some hearing aids. He said, I don't want no hearing aids hunting. I said, what? Or he had bought some, and I said, why don't you wear your hearing aids while you're hunting? He said, I make too much racket when I wear them. Before that, I had asked him one time, he couldn't hear that. I said, Daddy, why don't you get some hearing aids? He said, it's too peaceful. he didn't want no hearing aids, had to listen to all that junk. Deaver, no, I didn't know it, idiot. Yeah, Prepper, I see you. Said, are you seeing this message? It disappears shortly after I post. I'm seeing it. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Leo. We started with the Honda 4-tracks, and you just had a front and a back rack, and I remember strapping milk crates on them to trap out of, and drag deer. We had bungee straps every which way but loose. I got a picture of me on one of them four-wheelers going to the swamp grinnell fishing with a tackle box strapped on the front, and I figured out to put my gun rack on the side, on the front rack up there, sideways like with me, and I could put my fishing poles in there and they would come back, and then I could put me a bungee strap over the tip of them back here to hold them in where they wouldn't flop and catching limbs. And then I had a cooler on the van. I had stuff strapped all over it, and you'd go down the road, go fishing. Now we can just throw everything in the back of the buggy and go. I mean, it's Dave, I agree with you on that. Hold your manners. I'm trying to, and that's been my problem all along. Instead of just lighting off into somebody like that ain't got no better sense, you're a Christian, you're a preacher, you're trying to do the right thing. And I seen somebody said forgive. I'm all about forgiving people, but that don't mean I'm gonna constantly listen to their junk. I I love you, but you go ahead and stay over yonder somewhere. I don't come over here with that mess. I still don't wish at all, something bad had happened to him. It ain't like that, but I'm not going to listen to that junk, let it ruin my day. The Lord said not to cast your pearls before the swine. So we don't be throwing these jewels that we spitting out here out there to the pigs. Chad Pete, good deal. You probably a FedEx driver, ain't you? And we done talked bad about them. Now, I know everybody's got a lot going on this time of year. Mutt and Jeff. Oh, and Moody, you knew about old Pat and Ben then, didn't you? Pat your feet, bend your knees. Yeah, Thor, I got a delete button. Really, you can't delete them. You just you just muzzle them. In other words, they can't comment. They can still watch your videos and give you views and help your algorithm. You just don't get to see where they're mouthing off. So he might be on there still desperately trying to argue, and hey, don't nobody see it. It's peaceful. USPS, Chad, good deal. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have not really as much shipping as I have done this year. And I told the ladies today, no, I told them Wednesday when I was up there, I said, I've spent a small fortune with y'all this year. I said, I probably ain't gonna see you for Christmas. But I do have a package. I had a guy sent me a Rio Link camera. We did some horse trading. I'm gonna make him some sheaves and stuff. And we're gonna do some trading out, and I've got a package I got to go up there and get, so I will see them probably tomorrow. I was going to go today, but the Teepee got me today. But I told him, I said, I've spent a small fortune up here this year, but as much as I have shipped with the U.S. Postal Service, I have had really good luck. Now, we had a package the other day that we sent north to North Mississippi up there to Mike Reeves. Actually, to his wife, I think Michelle said it was some pottery. It left here and went to Florida. And it stayed in Florida. We didn't think, and they finally got it this week. But there's so much stuff in there. I understand. It's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, you sorry dogs, you lost my package. She told me, she said, I had a woman in here today. She said, boy, she said she is mad as fire. Said she was cussing and everything. She said, and finally, she said, I just got tickled and laughed at her. She said she really got hot then. I said, well, I'll tell you what I'd have done. She was mad because they lost her package. Well, that lady didn't lose it. It got lost somewhere in the shipping. And it's frustrating. I understand that. But, when people's trying to do the best they can, I can overlook them, I can overlook some mistakes. I don't overlook stupidity and ignorance, But mistakes, everybody makes them. I make mistakes. I do some stuff. I don't get it right every time. And I told her, I said, well, I'll tell you what I'd have done. I said, that lady was up here throwing a fit and cussing and ranting and raving by. I said, I'd have said, hang on, I'm going right now to get it. And I'd have turned around and took off running out the back door. And I'd have left her standing there and said, I'm going to look for it. Yeah. Keith Bingham said, oh, Honda has come a long way since 185 three-wheelers. You ain't ever lied. Because right now, as far as durability and dependability, Honda has got everybody beat. And I'm saying that in the long term. We ain't talking about just one machine. I've had a TRX. We've had dirt bikes. We had a three-wheeler back years ago. The dirt bike, my brother had an 80 back in the late 70s. When I was a kid in the mid-90s, we pulled that thing out of a junk pile the gas tank was rusted into. I strapped an oil jug to the handlebars and put a gas hose to the bottom of it and filled it full of gas and rode that joker. It was smoking like a tar kill. We rode it all over the yard. So, the thing could have been fixed probably, but we got rid of it. Every Honda, when you go out there to coldest weather, whatever, it can just crank up and run. And you see a lot of old Hondas. I know people right now that are still riding Honda 300s from 95, 96, you know. I don't know about better than Kubota. They've got a better reputation than Kubota, I'll say that, because they've been good since the 80s, since the 70s. Kubota's just started building ATVs years ago. Now, we got a Kubota tractor. The thing's a workhorse. You can't destroy it. So, you know, I'm not knocking Kubota at all, but they don't rival Honda as the durability yet. Now, if they do it for years, they could. I mean, they may have as good a product right now. My daddy's got a Kubota buggy, and it's a heap better than that Polaris Ranger I got. I'll tell you that. 22-year-old John Deere Gator. I was reading through some of y'all's comments about Doug. The legend of Doug. I kind of miss him already. he was kind of entertaining. Ricky Johnson. Yeah, Ricky Johnson, I see up there where you text. Sometimes, y'all, I get to talking and this stuff comes by. I don't deliberately like not recognize people or not read stuff. When there's a lot of comments coming, I have to just pick up on otherwise I wind up like just sitting here staring at this, reading comments. So, you know, and it's not fair to the people sitting there that ain't commenting, that's watching, because we got about 196 people on here. Stacy Price, I couldn't be a truck driver. No, ma'am, I couldn't. No, no, sir. I've done a little bit of traveling, and that's one of my biggest things. When somebody jumped on there the other day and wanted to mouth off about the people I was talking about supporting Americans, you know, just because it's American-made don't make it better. Now, there is a lot of American-made products that are better. Know this. I would love to support all American-made stuff, bar none, but it's not that way. And the reason is because you look at the idiots that are out there, like the one we just had to deal with. He works somewhere. You know that? I mean, he's got a job somewhere. Hopefully he don't own a business, but quite possibly, you know. Not likely, but it's possible. Do you want to support them people? You know, do you want to buy stuff from them kind of people? That's my biggest answer to one of the guys, and I blocked him too, was you drive on the roads with these people, and you know how they drive and how they act. I mean, when they pull out on the road, they get right on your tail with the lights on bright. They ain't got enough sense to dim them. You can go 40 miles an hour down the longest flat with no traffic coming, and they ain't got enough sense to go around you. When they get ready to yield, they don't have no idea what that yield sign means. They think you're supposed to stop and let them out in the traffic. You get to a four-way stop, and they completely clueless. They don't have any idea who's supposed to go when, so they just go at some point. And these people are in the workforce, and they're helping produce something. Do you want to buy that? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's where we are. Back in the 70s, really up until about the mid-90s, most of your American-made stuff was better. It really was, and I would always choose to buy American-made over. And when I know that there's an American-made company that is doing good, I want to support them over other people. But you got to stop and think about this. China has been producing most everything for a long while and producing more of it than we are. So they've had a lot of good practice. They've gotten a lot better at it. And you can say what you want to, but a lot of that knockoff China stuff is as good as some of the more expensive name brands that we have now. I wish it wasn't so, but we're talking about facts here, not what we would like, you know? So I just... Oh, and Moody, it's like this hatchet I got laying right here somewhere. Right here. All right, let's talk about this hatchet. This is Beavercraft axe. The forging on it is top notch. I've got two of them. The other one is excellent. I mean, one of the best hatchets, axes I've had personally to use. This one does a good job, but on this particular one, you look at this head right here. None of that fit just right. Look at the gaps in there. So this is the way they sent it. So what I'm showing you is this is Ukraine. Well, the first one I got, I would have said, man, that is as good as anything made anywhere. This one, not so much. So you take some people that's like Swiss-made knives, like the Mora. Mora has got one of the best knives as far as a cheap knife that you can buy. I mean, if you buy a Mora knife, you got a good piece of equipment, and they cheap. So there is other places that produce like really good stuff. When I find a knife and it's got made in Japan on it, I put it in my pocket because I know it's going to be a good piece of steel. If it's got Pakistan on it, I don't want it, you know? So we've learned this over the years. Well, China used to, when we saw something that said China, oh, that's garbage, throw it away. Well, it's really not that way no more because now they have upgraded because they've made so much money, they've sold so much stuff that they can produce a better quality of things at a cheaper price, and it's because of the way the economy has been run. Do I want to support what they believe and what they do? No, but I want to support me, and if I can buy something cheaper from them, I mean, you know, it's just the reality of it. But know this, when you buy from Amazon, you supporting Sean Deaver because he's got to help deliver it. You supporting these other folks on here that's delivering the mail because they delivering all of these packages to you. You're giving them work. So you got to look at it like that too, you know. Stacy Price from Crawford, I'm probably about a little over an hour. We're down, if you come down to Sugar Lock and turn on 21, you can come down to where we are. Deaver, you tired delivering stuff? He said stop buying it. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Uncle Sasquatch, I just seen that. I was talking about this made in Ukraine. He said, well, give them a break. They got Russians shooting at them while they're trying to make it. Yeah, I'll give you that one. You got a point there. So they might have made this one under fire. Oh. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. A lot of it's in good fun. And my reality, y'all, is I want to support all the Americans. I do. I really do. And especially your mom and pop stuff. But I'll tell you this. I tried to do t-shirt business with a local place here. And, man, they just blowed me off. I mean, they did my shirts, but it was so much more headache, and I was making more money per shirt, but then I was turning around and losing a good bit of it because I was having to ship them all, And it just, but the last time I ordered like, I don't know, $300 or $400 worth of shirts, and it took me over 6 months to get them. And I was like, I mean, I had people like, I want a shirt, I can't get a shirt. So I just went to Printify and they're done online, and I don't make as much off of them, but I don't have to fool with it. And you can get any color, any size you want. And so when you're dealing with mom, it's like me. I have thought, well, okay, I need this part. Well, I go to town and look for it, and everywhere you go, well, we'll have to order it. Well, crap, I can go home and order it. You know, I wanted to buy it. I wanted to come up here and buy it and go home and put it on what I need. So, you know, it's not really, it's hard to say whose fault it is, but each one of us is having to look out for ourselves, number one, more than it is like, well, we're against this people or that people. I ain't mad at nobody, just in general principle. We're all trying to survive, and everybody's doing the same thing. And if I can buy American made, and I know that this is a good American made product, I would rather have it. I had. But if we're going to sit here and act like don't buy Chinese or Amazon because it's coming from China, well, y'all, there's a lot of stuff that we'd have to do without, because that's where probably 85% of our stuff is coming from. I mean, and you know, really, it wasn't about that. I get like I'm doing a video for somebody. I'm okay with you not wanting to buy that product because it comes from China. I have no problem with you not wanting to buy it. I'm just trying, you know, hey, they offered me a saw. I'm doing a review on it. Is it worth a flip? Because there's some folks out there that don't have a lot of money to buy $800 or $1,000 pole saw. I'll do a video. And then when somebody gets on there and starts telling everybody not to buy it because it comes from China, I mean, that's kind of like a personal attack to me. That didn't sit well with me. Tommy, you have drug around and missed all the excitement. We had to block one poor old boy because you wasn't here to defend me. He got on here and just, old Doug talked ugly to all of us. You'll have to go back. Well, you probably can't see his comments. But anyway, we got rid of him. Thor, I see your comment. Now, I don't see no more. I seen one earlier from you. Deaver, don't run over no airplane now. I may have some valuables coming in on one of them. I got a lithium battery for the boat coming. They done sent me the charger. It showed up today with UPS. They driving a U-Haul right here right now. Oh, I didn't know. I thought they was fixing to come repossess something. A UPS driver hopped out, and Roscoe liked to put him back in the truck. Come on. I hollered at him, and we got that worked out pretty quick. And he had my charger, but they giving me a lithium battery to put in the boat. And we're going to, and they are, y'all will be proud to know this, they're a U.S. company. And they done sent me the charger to go with it, so we are going to do some United States companies. If they'll offer me something, I'll help them out and do videos for them. Yep, we had a battle of wits in here for just a second, and I outsmarted him by hitting that muzzle button. I just, bye. We'll see you on the flip side. He gone. I really didn't even, y'all had to tell him what old Doug was saying, because I really didn't read all his comments. I don't know what all this. When I realized what was going on, I was talking, and I well, okay. John Newton, you can call me anything you want to. It don't really bother me. When you ain't mad and just really trying to be offensive, I can take anything. I can take a good joke. I can take a little negativity, you know. I can take the good with the bad. Just sometimes when I done stressed out and got more on my plate than I can handle, and too many irons in the fire, and done wore the handles out on two hammers, it's about a little hot under the collar. My patience gets thin. Come on. Independent thinker, that in fact most of that stuff is probably assembled and made over there. Suzanne offered, is Placino in Australia? Is that an Australian company? Cause I was working with them and they just, I don't know, they didn't act right with me, and I hadn't, they hadn't, I don't know, I think they got mad at me. I don't know if I'm gonna add a log on there or not. I'm fixing to be going in the house here shortly. I gotta edit a Teepee video, so I don't need to be out here no great long while. It's 8:58. I said I was quitting at 9. You got 2 minutes. I'm gonna let it burn out. Tommy Litchfield, that fella that was on him, when the Lord was putting the folks' brains in with a spoon, somebody juggled his arm when he was putting that fella's in. Yeah. I'm out of Philadelphia, Mississippi. Louisville, Kentucky. I've been to Sauce. I don't know how you pronounce it. I always said saucer. That ain't how you pronounce it. Oh, is it Sauchet? Thor, the TP is impressive. It could be done better. It's got some slack. I got some improving to do on it, which I did some improving today on it. Still got some stuff we're going to do. We got to make a liner to go in it. But I am happy to have the TP put up. So shade. There you go. I knew it wouldn't pronounce saucier, but that's what I always, you know. You gotta have a little fun. That's like when I go up to Sugarlock, I call it Shaquallock. And you don't want me to go up there to Kosciuszko, because I'll tell folks I'm going to Kosciuszko. Oh, Lord, we have a little fun. Jimmy Sullivan, good night, good night. Sushu. We're going to get a bunch of pronunciations here before it's all said and done. David Rush said he was not well equipped for long-term warfare. Not for Battle of the Wits, he wouldn't. Hey, I'll give him credit, though, y'all. He come in hot, didn't he? Hey, he had it on his mind when he got here. He kicked the door wide open when he got here. Here's one of them old boys back in the old West days that come walking in the bar and, you know, kicked them swinging doors in and walked in hollering. Just wasn't long before somebody shut his mouth for him. That's about where he fit in. Owen Moody said, hurry up, Hogan's Heroes on. He can't miss Sergeant Schultz. I used to watch out. I liked old Colonel Hogan. Hey, that fella right there had some wits about him now. He was pretty sharp. I'm going to tell y'all, though, what's about to happen. I am fixing to go in, because if I don't, I'm gonna freeze slam to death out here. Look at that fire. Oh, look at that. Look at there. Get some air up under that thing. Get it burning. Oh, we got flames in there. I need to let it burn all that wood up. My wife has a fit if I leave a fire out here and come in. So, I am fixing to shut everything down. It is cold enough. Reach for the sky. Yeah, it's time to call the dogs and pee on the fire and let's put all this stuff to bed. We had done ate some deer meat tonight. My belly's full. Biggest thing is I need to go locate some footage and try to get y'all a video out to watch tomorrow. We've had a good time. We've had a lot of fun. I hate when ticked old Doug off. Boy, I'm gonna worry about that old boy all night. I bless his heart. You might ought to pray for him. He might repent. He won't be able to do it on here though. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Once I block somebody like that, I don't know how to turn them back on. So, if you make me mad and I block you and then you call me and repent and say, I'm sorry, I don't know how to turn you back on. But hey, Pork Chop, good to see you. Merry Christmas, everybody. We probably won't be live again before Christmas is over. But thank y'all for tuning in. We will have videos. Y'all will see some videos out of me before Christmas. Maybe we'll get some deer. I'm going to take some time to do some deer hunting, but I'm going to take some time and do some filming. We got a lot of videos we got to get put out in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to take a little break from all this hard work we've been doing and have a little fun for a little while. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for putting up with me. I know I get a little frustrated every now and then. You probably don't like everything I do. I probably don't like everything you do, but I still love you. I still want the best for you. I want you to have a Merry Christmas. Y'all remember the reason for the season. Remember that a baby was born in a manger that came to save our souls. And I'm so thankful because I need a lot of forgiveness. I need forgiveness for my short temper sometimes. It just, my blood gets to boiling and I say, Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. I need it. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all.